What is up, YouTube? How are you doing? It is Sunday, the final day of the week, and Bitcoin is in the expected range, right? We always like to see a range after price moved volatile to either the up or the downside. The weekend is here as well, so we expected a range, but of course in this particular stream, we're going to cover Elliott waves, look at the probabilities of the different scenarios locally, as well as zooming out, and of course answering your questions. Okay, I will be live here for 1 hour and 20 minutes till 3 p.m. because then also in my agenda, I really have to do other stuff. And then Lucas at 5 p.m. That is when we have the diamond chatting session in Discord from 5 till like, I don't know, 6:30 before I have to make the YouTube video for tonight. So yeah, but between 3 and 5, I got some stuff to do. So that being said, welcome everyone. Good to have you here. What's up, what's up, what's up? And yeah, Atreus, welcome. Scola Pendra, goedemiddag. Goedemiddag indeed. Sweet Hero, how you doing? Vasilis, morning. Lucas, welcome as well, of course. Broncos, buenos dias desde España. Buenos oh, fuck. I can't. It's actually quite difficult to record videos sometimes because of that. Like, I still got like the itch thingy, you know what I mean? Like, holy moly. Whew. So that's why you see a couple of cuts in the videos as well, because it's difficult to make a 10-minute video in one go without actually having the cough kind of thing, like the you know, the reflex to it. So yeah, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best for you. It's not that I stopped making videos because, you know, my throat there. David G, what's up? Ava Moorville, happy Sunday and congratulations. Thank you. What do you congratulate me with? I'm not sure, but congratulations to you as well. What's up? Hugo Roll Perez, buenos dias. Broncos, Hugo Roll, what's up? Digital Lord, Warnor Kept, how you doing? Still have to reply to your email, actually. The Bearing, hello again from Rotterdam. Looks like a bearish flag on Bitcoin for lower prices before a decent bounce. ETH looks good. I actually don't know where ETH is, right? We were expecting the point of control to be hit, so it can be interesting to have a look later on. Electrobook, morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you live. Zach, good morning. Watty, what's up? Hello, wish you have a great day. Thank you, Karim. Wish you have a great day as well. So in this live stream, right? Same old, same old. We're going to go through these scenarios, make sure we do the analysis part at the beginning of the stream, and then we answer questions and, you know, we can do all sorts of things. So that being said, let's get started. And a quick zoom out. I won't recap this morning video, right? But I will quickly organize some of the stuff, because in the morning video, of course, we have the bull and the bear. These are the two most relevant ones, but I have a couple of scenarios or a couple of things that I couldn't say in the morning video because I don't know, I couldn't even speak for a few minutes without having the cough, so I decided to keep it short in the morning update. But what I'm going to do is move some things around, put the high time frame volume profile in there as well. Let's have a look. And then I want the medium time frame bull and bear here, right? Organizing, this is how you organize my object tree, basically. So this is, of course, what I usually do earlier as well. Then look at these are like a couple of scenarios, right, that I still have. And I just switch between, hey, what do I want to talk about? Yes or no? And then I move it to the upside, basically. Keeps things very structured, which is what I very much enjoy. But this looks good. We have the CVD in there as well. Cool. Let's get started. The medium time frame, both bull and bear, those were from this one and this one, right? This one. These are the two that you saw in the morning video. But I will shortly cover it, and then we jump into the lower time frames, and especially the local range here, right? Especially this range. That's what we're going to talk about in a bit. Abdul Karam Abu Naji, I'm doing well, except for the annoying cough that's still there. Hopefully soon it's out the way and I can speak without muting my mic all the time if I have to cough. What's up, Watty, by the way? Or Flotty. Jeez, Flotty and Watty. Okay, short recap of the medium time frame. Right, this is as long as this low is not taken, this scenario has the highest probability, right? The moment this low is taken at 40.7k, 40.6k, that is when probabilities increase for a bigger 4, right? And a 5 before a bigger correction. A double 1, 2, bigger move down before a move up in the bullish scenario, or the bearish scenario. C is in and we're looking down. What it is going to be, we don't know, because it depends on the structure, but we can chat about that later, because in the morning video I also explained this, which is a 5-minute video. If you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it, because I don't really want to go in too much detail here again for the people that also watch the morning update, which is like 5 minutes, where I only talk about the bigger scenarios, right? The higher time frame, medium time frame stuff. But I just want to cover the current highest probability bullish, which is this one, and then the only real bearish that we have, which is of course the ABC, because the other ones are retracement before more upside. So yeah, I spend more time with you than my girlfriend. You got your priorities straight. I'm not sure. Holy moly. Damota Ilidio starting the stream with a banger. Wait, I gotta put this on. Whoop. Starting the stream with a banner. Damota Ilidio, make sure to send me an email with your YouTube, Discord, Telegram username, and I will get you sorted. Welcome to the team, man. Welcome to the gold team. We got a stream coming again on Wednesday. But thanks for joining, man. And make sure to check out the Elliott Wave course playlist, which is all I know. Like, all my knowledge is in that playlist, which is probably the reason why you joined as well. So welcome, man. Great to have you here. Immediately starting the stream with a banger. Damota Ilidio, where you're from? It sounds Southern Europe, like Spain, Portugal, Argentina, kinda. You know, Argentina is of course not in Europe. Anyway, bullish scenario. As long as the low is taken, it's the highest probability scenario. So we're then looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We're then a 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is wave 5. Now, what is a bit awkward though in this scenario is the wave 5, right? So I can now talk at least a little bit in a bit more detail compared to this morning. Where here we're then looking for a 1, 2, 3, flatten 4, but 5 is quite long, right? And of course 5 is then a diagonal as well. Compared to this wave 1, 5 is quite lengthy, but there is definitely an argument where this is not a finished impulse, right? Because if this would be a finished impulsive structure, where's our wave 4? So either this is then our 4, and then we have a 5, but that's the bearish scenario. So in the bullish scenario, it makes sense to count it as a 1, 2, 3. We have a flattened 4 here. And then we have our wave 5, right? Wave 5 ending then above the 3. And then we're looking for eventually a bigger correction to the downside, no? And then a wave 4 as well. I'll send you an email. Portuguese from Luxembourg. Hey, that's around the corner. Are you now in Portugal from Luxembourg, or you went from Portugal to Luxembourg? Like where you live now? So in this wave 4, we have two potential corrective structures keeping an eye on. The first is the ABC move down and then a 5-wave move up, right? Where we look for an impulse to the downside and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. Has to be said that the most common target area for wave 5 is between the 1.236 and the 1.618, which has been hit, right? But the max target here at the moment, 53.6k. Time-wise, this wave 4 is absolutely fine. We're at the 2 fib time taken from the high to the low of 2 to the high of 3, comparing 2 in time with 4 in time, and that is fine. We don't like to see this wave 4 ranging to the 5 fib time, which is sitting on the 1st of February 2024. Right, the targets for wave 4 is a 0.236 to the 05. Invalidation is the 618 at 33.6k. So if we then zoom in, then currently, as long as the low isn't taken, this still has potential, but we're going to talk about this range because it's not that easy to count impulsive structures to the upside. So what we're then looking for is a 3-wave structure to the downside in this particular scenario. Remember that this is your high of your wave 3 in green. All of this has to be wave 4 price action, which means that if you would look for an ABC down here, that means that this is a 3-waver, this has to be a 3-waver, another 3-waver, potential for a bigger triangle. But it's still a bit early as we're then at an A, B, C, and we still need at least a D in, which has to be a zigzag as well. And that is where, well, we're going to zoom into the lower time frames. It's not very easy to count impulsive structures from the low. So we're looking for an ABC to the downside, 1.618 respected, nice, right? Wave B retracing to the 0.382, common target for wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move to the downside, C. And now we're looking for a move to the upside. The 0.618 here, taken from the highest point of B to the low, would be a wave 4 invalidation for an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't hit the 0.618, right? That's not valid for a wave 4. That's why it invalidates a 4. Moving up first before taking the low, or arguably this low, improves the probabilities to move to the upside and take this high. Now, that means that if we are looking for a move to the upside from this low that we have at the moment, there's 3 options that we always consider here on the channel, which is also just Elliott waves really. Impulse, diagonal, or a double 1-2 or triple 1-2, at least multiple 1-2s, right? Now the first one is an impulse, so we want to see a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clearly, this price action does not fit in this structure, right? There's a lot of overlap. Yes, we can have, of course, a wave 2, but at the moment, this is not looking like an impulse with all the overlap that we have. The second one is a diagonal. Now, a diagonal from the low can have 2 structures in this case because we're looking for a leading diagonal, which can be a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 diagonal, impulse, zigzag, impulse, or all of the waves are 3-wave structures. So in this scenario, if we would look for a diagonal in a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, then, well, arguably this is your 5, then you need a 3, well, maybe there's a 3 here, then you have another 5, okay, then you need a 3 here, but then you need another 5 here, and take the high, which we didn't, right? So a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, leading diagonal from the low, low probabilities. Then we're stuck with the zigzag one, A, B, C, wave 1. Then we're looking for an ABC in a wave 2. But this low hasn't yet been taken, as you can see. So that means this then has to be an A, B, C for a 2. That's a very big ABC, you know, compared to 1. It's not impossible, but it's not ideal, right? A, and then we need something like a WXY, ABC, and then another move to the downside. This is your 2. And then we're looking here for another ABC to the upside for a 3, and then eventually a 4 and a 5, creating a diagonal, of course, right? And we want to see a contracting diagonal. Now, if we take a, oh, we can't yet use the channel because we don't even have wave 2 in. So basically, for a diagonal, we want to see a move down at least. But it's very early because you only have a 1. You're going to look for a 2. You still need a 3 and a 4. And I would only look for diagonals the moment the wave 4 is in. And we're far away from a wave 4, right? We're not even close because we're looking for 1, 2. We need a 3 or 4. You know, we're not even close. So double 1, 2 then. Well, the double 1, 2 in this range is a bit of an issue, right? Because if we look for a double or a triple 1, 2, what we look for is a wave 1, 2. Okay, not bad, right? That's possible. Take a fib from the low to the high. Not hitting the 3A2. You know, that's very rare for a wave 2. The 3A2 is already a less common target for a wave 2, so not hitting it is not common, right? Very uncommon. But okay, just for the imagination, if we have a wave 2 here, low probabilities, and this is another wave 1 and another 2, this 2 here hit the 886, taken from the low to the high, right? The 886 has been hit. And we know the 886 is a rare target for a wave 2. But it's a common target for a wave B or a wave X, increasing the probabilities that any move coming off the low here to the upside is a wave C or a wave Y, which increases the probabilities to, at a later stage, come back and take the lows. So what we're saying here is that these three at the moment are not looking great, right? So the probabilities for the bullish scenario of this low in either an impulse, a diagonal, or a 1-2, 1-2, and then eventually a move, at the moment, as it stands, doesn't look great. We do have some bullish CVD divergences, which we do have to keep in mind, which, by the way, is invalidated if you take these lows before taking the highs. But the bullish scenarios are not looking too pretty in this range at the moment, right? And that is why we love to wait for a range, because the range will give us an idea of what will happen next, right? And when we look for bigger moves to the upside, arguably, if we're looking for an ABC, and this is the low, we want to see one of these three, right? Diagonal is also way too early. Double 1-2, low probabilities. Impulse at the moment, it doesn't look like an impulse. So, yeah. But we do have bull CVD, so we'll wait for that. The second scenario, which is still bullish, would be a flat. The only problem is that if price takes this low here at 41.5K, and arguably then also likes to go probably for 40.7. But if you take this low, we're going to form a 5-wave structure. And that decreases the probabilities of the medium time frame bullish scenario. Because now the options open up. If we do not take this low and look at this as an ABC 3-wave structure, well, then we're looking for a corrective move, which increases probabilities to take the high. If we tag that 618 at 44.8K. If we take the low first here, then the probabilities increase for a 5-wave structure. But then, yeah, we could look for an ABC and continuation. However, the reason this scenario decreases in probabilities is because then, of course, we can have also potential bigger corrective structures, because this is now an impulse. So we can also have, instead of this being a wave C, it can also be a wave A, or it can even be a wave 1. We could look for a bigger ABC to the downside, right? A zigzag ABC. We can look for 1, 2, 3, much lower prices, which means that the moment that low is taken before hitting the 618, we got to keep our eyes open on other medium time frame scenarios as well, like this one where we look for a bigger wave 4, like this one where you go down for a bigger 2 before a 3 up, and not to forget the most bearish one, the ABC high is in and we look for much lower prices, right? All of these still have potential, but the moment the low is taken, the probabilities go to 50-50. Reason being that if you take this low, besides having an impulse, we have to look at the retracement. So the probabilities then increase. This is an impulsive structure to the downside. And then depending on the retracement that we eventually get as price moves in waves, just like here as well, right? We got retracements of the low, bit of an impulsive move, you get a retracement, you get a retracement. Eventually, you expect a bit of a retracement. Based on the retracement, we can then reassess probabilities for either 4 in, and we look for an impulse in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to see an impulsive structure, bullish CVDs locally as well, preferably. But if the move up is going to be corrective, then we expect at least one more leg to the downside in then either an A, B, C, or this is going to be a potential 1, 2, 3, which of course would be most bearish, right? So that's what happens if the low gets taken, right? But let's start with the bullish scenario. So this is the bullish scenario where the low gets taken, right? You want to take this low here. So 3 wave A, remember in that bullish scenario, this is the green 3, right? It ends over here. We're then looking for a 3 wave A, complex, weird structure in a wave B, right? Wave Bs like to be messy. Wave X also likes to be messy. So there's definitely an argument for this being corrective, right? After B, we look for a C to the downside to grab the liquidity over here. There's so many lows as well, right? Low, low, low. We got a triple bottom to the downside, arguably, by the way, a quadruple one. So the target area for your wave C is between the two 1.618s, which is between 40.6K and 35.4K. Now that is, of course, a very big area. So let me pinpoint this area in a few areas of interest, like a bit more condensed. First of all, of course, the triple bottom, potential swing failure pattern type of move, right? Wick the low, close above, up. However, if we are looking for a wave 5, we are looking for an impulsive move down, right? 1, 2, 3, sideways, 4, 5. So if price would move to the downside here, right, and not range before taking the triple bottom, because what you want to see is a 1, 2, 3, then a 4, 5, and then you want to move. If price instead goes down directly, a swing failure pattern can of course happen, grab the liquidity, take the low, but the probabilities of moving back up are lower because the liquidity grab is likely the beginning of a range in a 4 before then you move down in a 5, creating a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get to the yellow area here. So that's important, right? How fast does it move to the downside? What's the impulsivity? Because in an impulse, we always want to wait for a range, which is a wave 4 then eventually. So here, the golden box, 38.6 to 39K. Important support. And what is in this box is two very high time frame point of controls. I'm trying to find the... Oh, here, this is one. Let me remove the target box for a second. I showed this one in the morning video. Weekly time frame, volume profile, right? The target box has the point of control of this move. Yes, we broke through it here. It is nonetheless important because we are in this range. We touched the higher end of the range with the value area highs, right? And this is just range trading. No? We're just in a range. Point of control is always important in a range. So we definitely have to keep our eyes open for that level. So that is why also that box is on my chart. And then below that golden box, we have the area here in blue between 37.7 and 36.4. If we lose that, I don't really have a lot left till we go to 34 basically. So, and then, yeah, and then these are just small boxes as well. They can be very powerful. I mean, the one that was made with the high here wasn't too big as well, right? Look at the size of this thing. But the reaction was absolutely nuts from the box that we had here to the downside. Solid 14%. No, not bad, not bad. Gotta love these target boxes. So those are the areas inside the wave C. If we are looking for a wave 5, there's a couple of ways to estimate the target of a wave 5 from the impulse that we have to the downside. First things first, a fib retracement from the low of 3 to the high of 4. I would still personally like to see price hitting the daily naked point of control at 43.5K. So imagine we're going to just wick above that level, maybe go to the 0.5. Then we toggle on this wave 5 target, not that one, this one. Then you can see the wave 5 target, 1.236 to the 1.618, right, is including the triple bottom. Okay, I'm going to leave this on the chart. Might be a little messy now. Let's turn this off. Then we do a trend-based fib extension from the high of 1 to the low of 3 to the same level. Let's do the 0.5. Toggle on the 0.618. This is your other also target for a wave 5. Then we take a trend-based fib from the high of 1 to the low of 1 to the high of 5, which, I mean, or 4, sorry, which again, let's do the 0.5 for the sake of simplicity and equality between all of them. Nice, no? Bit of confluence here around this area. Finally, you can also use channels, but I'm not really a big fan of using channels for a wave 5. That's personal stuff, I suppose. But you can pull a channel from the high of 2 to then the potential end of 4, where that's going to be, right? And then to the low of your 1. So, you know, and depending on where your 4 ends, you can get the low of the channel as a target as well. But I don't really like to use channels compared to the other methods. A wave 5 can of course extend as well, but at least this is a target area to keep in mind, which is between 40.8 and 39.1k, which is close to the golden box as well here. So that's nice, right? If price would hit the 05, by the way, and move very impulsively to the downside, we're just going to be looking for a bigger wave 3, right? Wave 3 is extending. We just have to observe the reaction to the downside. Okay. Lots of information, by the way, I can imagine. But I like in the live streams, I do like to explain things a little better compared to the videos where I only have so much time because, you know, yeah. I want to try to provide a 10-minute video and not too much stuff. So that is where the live streams come in handy. In the bearish scenario on the medium time frame, we're looking for a 535 ABC. The 382 touch here. Got to drink something. The 382 is a common target for a wave B, less common for a wave 2. It is not rare for a wave 2. It's just less common, right? And when we talk about probabilities, it does edge the probability slightly to the potential of a wave C. But what I like to see first is local bearish probabilities increase, right? Instead of 50-50, the bearish scenarios more locally need to get the upper hand. That is when things switch for me, and then we still have the other scenarios as well, as mentioned, right? So it's not like we go down, but this is the most bearish scenario because you go for new lows, right? The other quote-unquote bearish scenario is you just range for a bigger 4 for a while till March and eventually or longer, and you move up, right? Still bullish, but it's just a bigger retracement, or you go for another 2 and you move up. It's also still bullish, right? But of course, the bearish scenario would be this one. This is your target area for your wave C. You can see the two fib times as well, taken from the low to the high of A to the low of B, comparing A with C in time as well, because there's always a time relationship, and usually the relationship between a C and an A is between the 0.618 and the 1.618 fib time, right? Currently, the high is made beautifully between the 0.618 and the 1-to-1 in this scenario. The 1.618 preferably is your max target at 50.1k. If price moves above that level, it's not like we're completely safe from an ABC, right? If the high is not yet in and we're going to move up. Because if we go to the logarithmic chart, by the way, let me show you as well. So here the button, right? Log is now on, off, on, off. You can see the difference, right, on the chart between the two. But it's important to keep an eye on both of these, right? Your targets move up. And now your common target area here, 50k to 59k, and the 1.618 is not even relevant anymore. But what I don't like about this in the logarithmic chart is your wave B didn't even hit the 382. And it's very rare for any corrective structure to not even hit the 382. Even for a wave B, it's rare to not retrace to the 382. And for a wave 2, it's also very rare to not even retrace to the 382. So that is why I prefer the logarithmic chart levels for a wave C, which also means if price is going to move above 50.1k and we start to close higher time frame candles up here, it does decrease the probabilities a bit for potential C, right? So we have to be patient and see what happens there. Locally, this thing, you guys know my opinion, it's a pain in the ass, right? Ending diagonals are very, very rare, never preferred unless all the other stuff fails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta say, it is a very nice ending diagonal when you look at the rules. It's just that generally an ending diagonal always has low probabilities, is never preferred unless all of the other stuff fails, which it hasn't yet, right? So rule wise, 886 is common for 2, 886 is common for 4, 1.618 is common for 3. This is your common target area for 5. And then you want to see an impulse to the downside. If I remove this, you could even have this as a wave 5, right, as well. But that's also an ending diagonal. So it's either the bigger ending diagonal or the local ending diagonal, because you want to finish your wave 5 here. And then your wave C being a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, right? You need to end with an impulsive structure, which because of all the overlap has to be a diagonal which then leads us to an ending diagonal because of the structure that we have over here. And an ending diagonal is not common, and also generally low probability. So it does lower the probabilities of this high at the moment. I mean, it's just probabilities, right? It's not what I want or what you want. It doesn't matter. It's just Elliott waves, and the guy that made the rules, right, for Elliott waves and everything, that is where the probabilities eventually come from. And expanding diagonal is simply a rare structure. So what I prefer to focus on instead of the expanding structures here is also focus on more local price action like the impulse down. It's just good to know that an expanding structure is rare, right? So it does lower the probabilities a bit for this being D high. But if we take the low, as mentioned earlier here, then bullish and bearish for me is going to be 50-50 till we get the retracement, and then I'll take it from there with the CVD divergences and everything as well. Now locally, of course, in a bit more detail with the fit time, we're looking for this. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wave 2, 302 retracement, less common for a wave 2, but a target nonetheless. Then we have our wave 3. We look for a sideways wave 4, eventually a 5 to the downside, right, to take this low. You don't want to see the 618 hit. In this scenario, it's on 44.4K. The 618 I mentioned earlier was at 44.8K. The main difference is between the two, this one, these fibs, are taken from the end of 2 to the low of 3. But just to be more safe with the probabilities changing with regards to the bullish scenario, right? Instead of taking the 618 from here to here, I prefer to use the higher pivot in this corrective structure, which is then there to there. If price hits this 0.618 at 44.8, 44.9K, gives me more confidence that the probabilities change, and we're looking for upside if the lows are not taken, right? If price does this, that would be bullish. Can still take a while before it moves up, right? You can still range here, but probabilities are higher to take the high before bigger retracements to the downside. Now this wave 4, locally here, still doing very fine, very good indeed. Nothing happening. This is your common target area for your wave 4, 302 to the 05. Got a nice point of control in here. I've been mentioning this level because for me it's an important level indeed, 43.5. Let's see how it reacts if it gets there. I'm personally, and we go into this range in a second, but probabilities are still good to move to the daily naked point of control. Question is if we take the lows first, but still solid for the daily naked point of control here. And time wise, we're at the 2 fib time, right? Fib time taken from the low of 1 to the end of 2, put on the low of 3, comparing 2 in time with 4 in time, and this is fine, right? For wave 4, just ranging, as long as it doesn't really get to the 5 and 6. We don't really like to see that, which is on Tuesday, 16th of January, 5 p.m. Central European time. Something I also like to note, or at least tell you about, is a daily gap, which we have here. Just so you have this. Plop. Right, between 43.250, 43.555. That's nice. So if price is going to move above the daily naked point of control and arguably starts closing daily candles up here, right, around, let's say, 44K, 44.1, it increases probabilities to fill the gap. So what price does like to do with these gaps, of course, is wicking inside and eventually move down, right? But you want to, preferably see daily candles close here, increasing the probabilities to then eventually fill the gap. So it is something I saw it this morning when I was doing my TA. Okay, this range then, and then we're finished with the analysis. No? A lot of detail. So this is very interesting. I immediately put everything on. Yeah. So the 886 rule, which many that follow the channel are known with, it's a great probability type of fib actually. But when the 886 is hit, the follow-up move has a higher probability of being corrected, which means price likes to then turn around and take the high, the double top or the double bottom where the 886 is. Double bottom, double top, another 886 over here, triple bottom. So now we have 3 886 touches, which makes it very difficult to assess probabilities to the individual 886s here. So this was the first 886 touched, taken from this low to the high, right? And here you definitely have a big double top as well. Now the probabilities to leave such double tops are usually not that high, right? Price loves double tops as well as double bottoms. And what is let's talk about Elliott waves, because what is interesting here is this. So besides the 886, I put these on my chart. This is a trend-based fib extension taken from the low to the high to the low. If we are looking for a finished three-wave structure, preferably we see this hit. The 0.618 is common for a wave Y. We didn't hit it. Rare for a wave C. We still didn't hit it, right? This move is very shallow. So it decreases the probabilities that this corrective structure, if we look for corrections, is finished with this being the high here, because it is so shallow. And if we look for this to be the low and arguably a three-wave move or an ABC, WXY, whatever, your common target area for a wave C is here. Your common target area for a wave Y is here. We didn't touch those areas, which therefore does increase the probabilities to at least take the double top once more. The main question is, do you first take the liquidity at the triple bottom or double bottom here? Because generally I'd still like, from an Elliott wave point of view, like to see price moving up where we then have the daily naked point of control as well. But it's a bit awkward to count a finished structure here. Of course, we have the potential of a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then you move down. But even if in a wave A, if this is your A, your wave A should be a zigzag structure. And a zigzag ABC as a common target has these fibs. Less rare target for a wave C is the 0.618. You didn't hit the 0.618, right? Which doesn't happen very often for a wave C or a wave Y. So it increases the probabilities a bit that we might still go above the double top that we have here. Very interesting indeed. And we have the daily naked point of control there. But the main areas of interest, we're now in the middle of the range, right? The main areas of interest is the low and the high for me personally. And we just, from an Elliott wave point of view. CVD, we got some bullish CVD divergences, but let me have a look here. Also a bit bullish here, but we're ranging here, and with all the 886 touches, not too great. I prefer to see then a move either up or down in this case. With the CVD, of course, probabilities, bullish CVD is equal to absorption of market shorts or people closing. I prefer clarity. Highs or lows taken here. So that's that. And we might actually, I have a alarm below. Not an alarm. I don't know why that I have another alarm there, but I want to set an alarm above as well. And yeah, we wait and see. But this is the probabilities on all of the scenarios, of course. If the bullish CVD, by the way, plays out, right? Because we do have bullish CVDs building here. So it adds a bit of probabilities to upside, obviously. where the target is this high. So the moment these highs are taken, bullish CVDs have played out and are back to neutral. If price takes these lows, especially this one here, well, mainly this one, if price takes this low, the bullish CVD divergences are invalidated. So probabilities of these scenarios is that on the medium time frame, this is your preferred bullish scenario till the low is taken, right? This is your target area for 4. The moment this low is taken, probabilities switch between bigger corrective structures and this wave 4. Right, we have to wait for the retracement. Basically, it's going to be 50-50, and we're going to wait and see what kind of retracement price will eventually make, because we're always looking for eventually a retracement, right? It always happens. And that will give us more clarity on what we're looking for. Because then we can also look for the bigger 4, bigger sideways range, still bullish. Double 1-2, right? 1-2, eventually a move up. Still bullish. Or the bearish scenario where everything goes down. But we don't know what we get, right? We don't know. So that's why this low is very important. But from a low time frame perspective, this range, having ending diagonals to end a bigger wave 5, always has low probabilities till the rest is invalidated. So even if this low is taken, there are still probabilities of an A, B, C and a move to the upside to finish 5. Grab the liquidity, end of wave 4, move up for a 5. Right, that's what we're gonna keep an eye open for. On the micro, very, very locally, we're looking for the 618 touch or the low to be taken first. Preferably this 618, right? Sitting at 44.8, 44.9K. Price moves up and hit this high. Increases probabilities to look for the high at 49K. Take this low, and then we go to the probabilities I just mentioned. In this very, very local range, right? We have bullish CVD divergences. And for me, the probabilities, whatever kind of happens here, are at the moment still higher from an Elliott Wave perspective, right? To take the highs here at a given moment. But the question is, do you first take the low? Because we also have the 886 touch here, 886 touch here, another 886 touch here. It's just, it's a very interesting range. Of course, arguably it looks like a triangle here, but it can also be a wave like A, and then over here, A, and then A, B, C, D, E, and then you want to actually see a C up. Well, that doesn't look too great because of this scenario. So yeah, maybe we have an A, B, C, D, E, and then a move down. But for a triangle, all of the ways have to be zigzags, which means you want a zigzag in here. This could be one. This can be one. This one is a bit more of a pain in the ass. But it is possible. So, and of course in a triangle, we're not going to take this high. So then we're going to have this. What's the volume doing? Volume is also, so in a triangle, you want the volume to move down, the average volume. So it could work, a triangle here locally. It's very, very shallow B though. I don't know. It's a scenario we keep in mind. As mentioned, even for this being a wave A of a triangle, your C is very, very short. Very short in an ABC. So that's definitely far from ideal. So the best thing to wait for is the lows or the highs taken, which will give us clarity. But generally, because this wave C structure is so short, also for a triangle, you look for a zigzag in an ABC to at least hit the common target area for a C. Because this structure is so short and an 886 touch as well, it increases probabilities to eventually take the high. Patience. And we have bullish CVD as well, not yet invalidated. So, yeah. Okay. There we go. Sudarshan? Nope. I'm sorry, mate, but I'm not here. I'm not being a charity here, you know. So make sure that, and also for your trading career, asking for money online is never a good idea. First things first is use the money you have, which is $1, $5, $10, doesn't matter. Learn the skills of trading first. And then when you have and learn the skills of trading, your small portfolio of $10, $50, right? You can then add savings, not savings, but money that you have left and that you can lose, right? You can then put that in the account and grow it because you know based on statistics and everything that your plan works. So build a solid plan first. Start with low budget. Just something that you can lose, something that is irrelevant, something you won't miss, right? Build a plan and then increase your account slowly, but never ask for money. I mean, I can't even imagine someone even giving money. Like that's someone's own responsibility, of course. I mean, it doesn't work on this channel at least. Yeah. Flotty, what's up? Samith? How you doing, Samith? Rick Motovlog, $50 to $500. Are you doing a challenge at the moment, Rick? Or you're like in a trade where you managed to do this? Barnor, we have a triangle in 2 hours now. Maybe we can push downside today. Yeah, so the triangle is definitely, it is a structure that we see. I'm not a big fan of this wave C because it's so short. Yeah, because still in a triangle we want to see ABCs, of course, zigzags. It's a very short one, but there is that possibility. Preferably also in a triangle, I would like to see bear CVD. We have a bit of bull CVD, so I do like to see bearish CVDs coming in. That would be nice at a given moment. You can look at the bullish CVD two ways. Either because it's just moving down, down, down. It's just weakness. People are selling. Shorts, more shorts coming in, like, you know, leading CVD. Or there's a lot of absorption going on. But the problem with the current range is that it's difficult to count this bullish at the moment, right? Impulse, diagonal, double or triple 1-2s are very difficult to identify here, and at the moment don't have the higher probability, which means that locally currently, besides looking for the high because of this wave C structure, currently this range has lower probabilities of being bullish because it's so difficult to count either an impulse here, a diagonal here, or a double 1-2 here. But we continue to observe. Of course, in both scenarios, like if you would be bullish, you go up. Taking this highs is still interesting, and then we take it from there. And if you go down, then yeah, then the probabilities play out of this range because it's difficult to count this impulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No diagonal. Well, we mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4. You still need 3 and 4. Even 2 needs to be finished. And in a double 1-2. Unless this is your 1, A, B, C, and 2, then another 1, A, B, C, and 2, another 1, flat in 2 or something, and then you move up. Yeah. But then you still have an 886 touch here, which is this one. And that's, of course, not high probabilities for a 2. But that would probably be the way I count it bullish. If I have to count it in some bullish way. First of all, you don't want to change market structure here. But that would be it. 1, flat in 2, 1, zigzag 2, 1, arguably another flat in 2. And then you want to move up in a 3 during the week. That would be the bullish scenario here, which then eventually still leads to the highs being taken, which remains something that I like to look for. But for clarity purposes, the best thing to be patient as well is wait for 44.8K to be hit, or this low to be hit. And we might get more clarity the moment this high or these lows get taken. Because that has an impact on the higher time frame Elliott wave counts that I mentioned earlier. Also makes me think, by the way, I have to put the Elliott wave analysis at start. Now chatting. There we go. Where were we? We were here. We already invalidation on the, yeah, for a wave 4. You don't want a wave 4 going to the 0.618. That's not what we like to see. Nick K, by the way, welcome. Klaus, the new Europe. Yeah, with Argentina. No, right? Video Kingdom, what's up? Happy days from Lille, Slovenia. Nice to see you have fun with the live stream so we can enjoy your analysis. I hope you keep this going for hundreds of years. Well, that will be a problem unless there's some invention where I'll be alive. But yeah, we'll see what Elon Musk is doing, no? But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying live streaming. I think it has to do because of my background as a professional gamer, where I always did live streaming as well for, you know, my fans and the community. So back in the day, I also live streamed for more people than we have here on my Twitch back in the day. And I had great fun organizing stuff and doing stuff and chatting with the community. Very difficult to keep up with chat when there's many people watching. We had that once on YouTube when there were 500 people here. I couldn't keep up. So you live in Luxembourg. We're neighbors indeed. Neighbors indeed. Well, welcome to Gold, Damote Elidio. Good to have you here. And it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. You can ask anything, of course, in Gold, and especially during the feedback and Q&A live streams. But make sure to, first things first, probably, would be to go through the Elliott Wave course content. So, yeah, you already sent me a mail. I'll get you sorted later. Welcome, though. Lucky Gupta, what's up? Kenny, 6618. Wait. Oh, no, did we miss it? There's not many opportunities to capture subs with Fibonacci levels, if you know what I mean. Where are we currently at? What? Yeah. We passed it. Yeah, 6638 now. We're too late. I can edit the 3 into a 1 though. Yeah. Next stop 782. Oh yeah, that could be a nice one. 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's still it's still a lot of subs left though. It's over 100, 140, 135 left. But who knows? What's up, Kenny? Mehmet, I delayed my tennis today just to watch you. Holy moly, this guy. That's dedication. Make sure you go for tennis. I went to the gym this morning. You know, it's important to be physically active. So make sure you play your game. You're still sick? Yeah, I don't know. It's just my throat, man, with the itch. Like it just creates the cough. I don't feel sick. No headache. No nothing, right? At all. It's just that little. I don't know if it's the cold or something here. Or I don't even know. Maybe I have to drink more water. Yeah, Prost. That still has potential, I suppose, needing to drink more water. Boil, yeah, ginger and water. Yeah, tea also works well. It's all the time to say. Ethone, what's up? It's all-time pandemic. It's all-time ETF. It's all-time the same. No, I don't know what you mean, unfortunately. But welcome. Dasa Gaming, what's up? How you doing? Technical Chacha, what's up? India government banned Binance. Yeah, you told me recently that they were gonna do it, but now they actually did it. That's annoying, eh? Like, what do you even trade now? Like, how you need to use maybe even like VPNs and stuff. Not that that's allowed, but that's gonna be make life difficult in India. Saeed Riza, what's up? How you doing? Aswin, welcome. Shadowjacker, where do you find that daily? I found the daily naked point of control here with Atos, but there is a indicator that I know about that some people like to use. And the only reason, so I don't use any trading view indicators. I find them on Atas, that's the platform. But I do have one here, which is called Market Sessions and Volume Profile by Leviathan. Right, and it's pretty okay, I suppose. It's actually pretty good. I mean, it's good. I still prefer Atas because of just general accuracy. But you can use this, Market Sessions and Volume Profile by Leviathan, right? And you can see the daily box, right? That's the box that we're working on. And then you can see the previous point of control is the red line, value area high is here, and the value area low is the blue line below, right? You can also edit this. I don't know exactly how it works because I haven't been too accurate. You want to leave this on 70 though. The resolution has to do with the amount of candles. So I think if I would put this on 40, it should reduce this. Yeah, so you get smaller candles, which therefore means more accurate. You don't want to go to like 100 or something, right? Per se, or like 1,000, but at least it can help you. But standard, what was it on? 30. I think that works fine, really. So this one works as well. I think that's a pretty good alternative that someone in the community found. What's up, Anita? Chefing indeed. Deepak Daria, how you doing? Can you teach us how to count time zone on Elliott? I don't know what you mean with time zone. Do you mean FIP time, or because time zone, like time zones as in maybe world time zones, of course don't matter. FIP time is interesting, but in FIP time, the general most common FIP time relationship is between the 0.618 and the 1.618. But it depends what you look for and which particular ways. But that is the most common between most of the structures. Between W and Y, between A and C, between 1 and 5. Yeah, between W, Y, and Z. Now I can actually put this up there, pin the message. Oop. What time is best for alts? Well, I don't trade alts myself, so I don't really know, but you know, generally, and I don't have too much information about alt season and those type of things. But yeah, usually when Bitcoin is ranging, or Bitcoin has a big dump, then it starts ranging, and then money flows out Bitcoin into alts. I don't really know, you know, but there's the typical. You have the typical alt season type of steps, but I don't know them because I don't trade alts. And even if I would trade alts, my personal developed trading strategy can trade anytime. You know, I think alt season, for example, is more important if you want to hold alts, but for a trader it shouldn't matter where alts are, right? You can trade them any day. Can you not count the down wave as 5-wave move already? Yeah, I mentioned earlier where if you do get a bigger impulsive structure down now, then arguably this is potentially another wave 2. I do know what you mean with then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then if we go, because we have to go to the 5-minute for this, it's this structure, because this is then the end of your 2. Then you're looking for a 1, 2, and then one of these has to be your wave 4 instead of this being your wave 4. So this is your 2 here, and this is now a 4 if you look at this low being a 3. That has potential, but at the moment it doesn't carry the highest probability. Yeah, because then you have a 1 candle 4 against a multi-candle wave 2, and usually wave 4 is longer than wave 2. That's what it's based on. So rule of alternation as well. So therefore probabilities are higher. This is a 4. Now, if it, of course, retraces, because then what you also have to do, if you're looking for a wave 2 already, right, we have to do this. So if you're looking for a bearish scenario where your impulse is finished, in a bullish scenario, it doesn't matter. You then still want to see the 618 touched, increasing probabilities to move up, right? But in a bearish scenario, if this is your finished impulse, then for both a wave B, X, for all, by the way, BX wave 2, you really want to get inside this area. And we're not even close. The 302 is at 44.3, 44.4K. So if price cannot go to this level at least, probabilities are low that this is a finished impulsive structure. But it is something we keep in mind if price does move down eventually, depending on the move that you get, right? Based on the scenario we're talking about here. So if then price moves down, depending on the impulsivity and the volume coming in, that is when we can judge if we continue a potential 3, right? Or if it's a 5 and we move back up. That's something we have to wait for. But it's something we can keep in mind, absolutely. Quickly have a check here, what's happening. Price is ranging here for a while already now. A bit of bearish CVD, lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. So price needs to take this little high for that to be invalidated. This is important because, of course, on 15 minutes and stuff, you have bullish CVD. But now here you have the bearish CVD, right? So if price doesn't take this high, it's not invalidated. So you want to see this high taken for the local 5-min bear CVD to be invalidated. Playing out means taking the low. So that's actually, I have this fib here. Yeah. I'm a small capital account. I made my small capital account by 3x profit with your books, you told. No financial advice, but I'm happy you are profiting from your own personal analysis and strategy. Because if you profit or lose, of course, I don't care in the end. But I'm happy to see you're doing well trading your personal developed trading strategy. No financial advice here, of course. Uncle Gaming, is there any chance for a leading diagonal as it makes a wedge in 333? You mean to the downside or the upside here? Because to the upside, currently it's way too early for a diagonal. So this would then be your 1. Your wave C is very short for a diagonal, by the way, an ABC here. But that would be your 1. Then you, of course, want to see an ABC down at least for a 2. Then you need another one up for a 3, down for 4. So you can see it where the probabilities at the moment are not yet on the side for a diagonal. I only really like to look for a diagonal after wave 4. Up to that moment, there's usually other scenarios that have a higher probability. Usually after the wave 4, that is when the probabilities start switching. But yes, it is a scenario that we do keep an eye on, that we do look for if we get it. I also explained it in the analysis part earlier, where we were looking for either an impulse, a diagonal, or a double or triple 1-2. So it's definitely something we keep in mind, yes. Kenny Andrade. KG thinks your voice is soothing. He told me he listens to you when he drives. There's no way. KG, did he write anything in the chat? What's he doing? Wait, let me go. What's up here? I'll check your tag later, Fahad. Wait, do we have one? Do we have another one? We got another one. Hammer. Or another one, I mean. Luckily, they're not here too often. Hammer. Poof. This is how you do it, everyone. This is what I sometimes have to do. Bye. Yep. Thanks for the tag. There we go. What's KG up to? Bitcoin, others TA. He's usually very active in others TA. But funny to hear. He listens to me in the car. What's up, KG? One day I should do an ASMR stream, especially for KG. You know, I get my stuff out. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not into that shit. Mirovsky. Wait, where are we at? Bullish CVD locally for 188. Yes, there is indeed bullish CVD. That's correct. CME gap 39k. Yes, also a CME gap down there. Which is interesting confluence around the golden target box that I have, which is at the same place as well. Tim, what's up, man? How you doing? Spending time with the family at home now, with the kids, playing with the kids? Bybit hasn't been banned. Okay, so there you go. I see. So at least you can still use Bybit. Might want to check if Bing X is banned as well, or not. That's the one I use. Sophos, do you have a template for Atas? Yes, it's shared in Discord, but it's actually not yet in... I didn't yet put it in the good to know chat. So it's difficult to find. I actually still want to make a video about how you then put it in your... so here it is. Go to general chat and then look for this message here. There we go. Luis Rivera. I'll check your email. I'll check your email. What's up, mate? How you doing? You're doing good, Luis? All the way other side of the world. You do trade ETH and Sol. I haven't done yet because I do keep an eye on it. But I haven't actually traded ETH or Sol because I struggle at doing 3 charts, even though it's relatively easy, of course, with the strat to pinpoint the different things. I still struggle during the day to prepare the 3, keep an eye open, have the alarm. I don't know. I'm so used to doing 1. I haven't yet been able to really go into trading 3. Even though, of course, based on data, ETH is absolutely amazing. So FOMO, but I'm tracking, of course, my stuff on Bitcoin, but I haven't yet done ETH Sol. So yeah, still gotta get into that. Yeah, how to use CVD in TradingView? For me personally, there's not yet, and we've actually checked that in Diamond with people because we were curious. About CVDs in TradingView, because often I talk about CVD, and also in Bitcoin TA it's regularly a topic where we talk, but we actually did quite some research to find anything in TradingView, but there's nothing really that mimics the AGGR CVD. So I can't give you any great CVD indicator in TradingView. The only one I use and I can recommend is AGGR. Right, where if you don't yet know about AGGR, you go to Discord, go to the Good to Know channel, have this link here, charts.aggr.trade, which you can put in your browser right now as well if you want. You can download my template here, and you can learn more about CVD with the one-pager and the video I made on my channel. If you go to videos, right, and you look for CVD with the little search button, you will find the video that I made to explain CVD in more detail as well. For me, by far the best platform at the moment. Of course, I also know there's Coinalyze, but I prefer AGGR because it's full screen, and Coinalyze is just a small screen and there's so much shit going on besides it. So yeah, if it goes down, what's the possible next price? Well, of course, the analysis was done earlier. However, to answer your question, first of all, we have the triple bottom, which is here at 40.1. Look for the reaction. Next would be 38.6, 39K, and then the area of 37.7 to 36.3K. That is, of course, to the downside. Those are the support areas there. What's the meaning of a naked point of control? So, did anyone... No, so a naked point of control is a volume level. Well, actually that depends on the time frame. So the D and POC here is a daily naked point of control, which means that the point of control of yesterday, so first of all you need to have knowledge about volume profiles, right? Or volume, but volume profiles arguably is the easiest to understand. So let me use that indicator I showed earlier. Makes life easy. So what you see here, you have the white boxes. Cleaning up the chart. Poof. Right, this is a white box. It says daily. This is the day. This was the 12th of January here, right? This day. Now during this day, most of the volume was traded here. So if you pull a, what is this? The volume profile from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, right? Your point of control is here. Now the point of control shows you where the most volume has been traded in a particular time frame, which in this case is a day because we selected a day, right? On the 15-minute. And the point of control, if not touched yet the day after, is a naked point of control. We call it naked because it hasn't been touched. The moment price would move up and touch this level, I remove it because it has been touched, right? And then it's not a naked anymore. But as long as the point of control of the previous day is not touched, it is an important and interesting, mainly, support resistance level, especially in confluence with other stuff. And if I open my whole folder, then you can see I don't really have too many to the upside because I switch charts at a given moment. There's many, as you can see, and also high time frame, weekly, monthly, yearly. You can do it on all time frames, but usually you use the point of controls when we talk about a daily time frame, weekly time frame, or a monthly time frame. So that is why you then have the monthly, the weekly, or the daily naked point of controls. On my YouTube channel, by the way, I also have a video where I explain the volume profile tool, which is this one here with my beautiful paint. I think I made this in paint thumbnail. So yeah, might actually want to change this at a given moment, So yeah, how to trade naked point of controls using volume profile, and that's where I talk more about the volume profile tool. A little bit of a push here. Are we going to get some banging price action on Sunday? So yeah, I mean downside, because if it is making wave B, it can go up rather than down to at least 38%, 68%. Where's your wave B, Uncle Gaming? You mean 49K as the top of your B? I need to know the time frame basically as well, and the level, because you could be talking about the macro where wave B is then ended, and you're going to be looking for 8 to 12K, or you look for a wave B more locally with eventually a C to the downside, for example. Leo Mobile Legend, hello sir, I want to know your point of view about Bitcoin. Is it dump or pump right now? Well, price is moving up, so I guess I gotta say pump now, right? But my friend, no one knows what happens on the chart, right? We can't speak in certainties, it's all probabilities. And for the probabilities from an Elliott Wave perspective, I covered that in the analysis earlier. And if you want to trade price action, what you need to do is make a plan, have a strategy. Okay, here we go. And in order for you to make a plan, you need to follow 6 steps. I'll explain them in a very short, because I don't want to make this take too long. Step 1, try as many free tools as you can. Use TradingView, for example, or ATAS. Step 2, track statistics on your favorite tools, right? So find your favorites and then track statistics. 3, combine your favorite tools, track more statistics of the combination, right? Step 4, add and tweak the combination, add something, remove something, then track more data to see if your risk reward can change, your profit level, your win rate, whatever, more data. Then step 5 is start trading it with a low amount of money and work on your trading psychology. So low budget, work on trading psychology while you are now also forward testing the strategy, right? And then step 6 is up your budget and trade your strategy with confidence because of all the data that you have. Those are the 6 steps. Delete crypto. I'm driving, listening into. Look at you guys go, and girls. Yeah, driving and listening. Everyone coming in. Hello from Ohio. What's up, Lee? Like last time, I love Ohio. It's such a. I love the American names of cities. Effect, what's up, man? So I know Effect, by the way, everyone, from Trackmania. My man. Part of the Trackmania community. Do you ever compare price action from other exchanges in your analysis for your own trades? Only highs and lows. So if price, I don't have a recent example, but I can make, I don't know if actually this was something. So for example, price moved up here, right? If on another chart, so I have a lower high here, by the way. This is a lower high for me. Now, if on another chart, the bigger exchanges, we have a higher high, it increases the probabilities to take this high on other charts at a later stage as well. But I generally don't really look at it. It's mainly that people usually notify me when I say, oh yeah, on my chart we hit the 886, we made a lower high, and then someone usually in the comment section says, oh, on my chart it did take the high, or and that does increase the probabilities to then take this high at a later stage. So yeah, we can reject, but the probabilities remain the same, right? But for my trading, I don't compare the platforms, no. Jeez. Thanks, Crypto Aman. Welcome to the platform, man. You're making me trader by every stream. Hopefully the word better has to be in front of there because we're all probably traders. But yeah, thanks for supporting the channel, my man. I appreciate you joining in. We got some cool campaigns as well, by the way. At work, I mean present. I see. Working, always working, Tim. Do you live off trading? I can, absolutely. But I don't like to only do trading. I have my own business. I'm a global keynote speaker as well. So I have a strategy, right, that Diamond also trades. But my personal developed trading strategy gives me the freedom to also do other stuff. Because only trading can also be quite boring. And I'm a high-end energy individual, and my background is the gaming and esports industry for 18 years. So I'm a global keynote speaker in that industry, lots of speaking stuff in a year. And I also have another business, more educational. YouTube arguably is also keeping me busy besides trading. So yeah, I like to do other stuff as well, but if I want, absolutely. Yeah, no problem there living off trading, but I like to do other stuff as well. But that's where developing a strategy comes in, because I've developed my strategy to combine it with my lifestyle. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a swing trader. I have 10 to 20 setups a month with my strat. If you trade one pair, I mean, if I look at Jarvis or Super Psycho, who's checking multiple, I believe now, but Jarvis actively trading Solana, Rune, ETH, and Bitcoin. I mean, he has easily double, if not more, the amount of setups a month because he trades multiple different coins with my strategy, and he puts all the statistics in the group all the time, so you can really see how many he has taken, which is impressive. What about just filling the wick below us? Let's go to a daily. Yeah, it's a solid wick. Of course, we also still have this wick here, but it's not too big. It's 3%. Yeah, I mean, price, we can always fill the wick, but before filling the wick, I first like to see what price does locally. Of course, if we're looking for a wave 4, we eventually look for a 5 to the downside and fill the wick, yes. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, absolutely, Abaddon. Is it a good time to trade in a short? I just want to know your view. That depends on your plan. The steps I just mentioned, you need a plan and then trade your plan. If you want to know from an Elliott Wave perspective what the highest probability is, then of course I went over that earlier in the stream. But to actively trade, I can't give advice. I know you just want my view, but my view is going to translate into you clicking a buy or a sell button, which is not, of course, what the aim is of what we do. I give what my goal is here is to share my knowledge, talk about Elliott Waves, hopefully teach people about Elliott Waves. And hopefully they can maybe add it as a confluence, but by no means it should be the only thing they're looking at and then trade based on my videos, of course. So, yeah, I can't say is it a good time to short or a good time to buy. I can only talk in probabilities, and by all means, no, I'm not involved in your trading, of course. What is your perspective on a bull run, when it will start, and what is the low point to make position long term? Well, if we look for a bull run, this is an if, right? This is an if. Let me remove this, go to the daily. Okay, it's, by the way, it's 3 p.m., so I do have to close things down very soon. Also the past couple of things. So, of course, the two interesting scenarios is, first of all, this. Wait, where is it? This one? Yeah. So this is only the bullish scenarios, okay? Because you asked me about the bull stuff. So one that I kind of would like enjoy. Oops, 4 and then 5 now needs to be a little higher, which would be cool. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, eventually looking for a 4 and a 5. Price moving above the resistance area we have, which is really obvious. Make people very greedy, right? Buy, buy, buy. Eventually wreck all of them by moving to the downside, where the targets for a wave 2, of course, move up as price moves up. So if we are looking for a 5 at higher prices, you can see your common target area for 205 to the 786 is going to start entering the range, which is interesting. So then in 2024, in this scenario, we could move to the lower side of the range, right? This, I think, is an incredibly interesting scenario. Of course, alternatively, you have the very bullish 112, which at the moment doesn't have my highest probability from a bullish perspective until we have more info, where at the moment your low would be here. So we basically need to wait for price to eventually move down, and then depending on the structure we can get a better estimation of where a potential bounce might be for a continuation to the upside in a bull market. But that is only talking about the bull, because obviously you also have the macro bear scenario where you're going to be looking for price to move to the downside, right? We always need to be neutral, so make sure that whatever you do, you always keep in mind both, and you have a very solid plan and a strategy to also cope with a potential much bigger move to the downside, just in case, because it's always good to be prepared. Yes. So, and yeah, and that a new cycle high time frame video will be a macro will be launched tonight. The one of last week is pretty much, it's quite the same. So yeah, you can always check that one out as well. It's on the channel in the macro playlist. What's up, Abbas Nisok? How you doing, man? Bearish symmetrical triangle if it breaks on the downside. well, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, and then you want to see a move down and a 1, 2, 3 to the downside. It's just that for the triangle, the start of A here it's a very short C, and this being an A, B, C, but the volume does go down, which is what you like to see. So yeah, there is the potential for a triangle, but then you don't want to see the highs taken, of course. That's an invalidation. But usually not too big of a fan of triangles. I try to be patient here, because triangles are very complex structures. There's a lot of potential to have WXYs instead of triangles, which makes them very difficult as well. But yeah. Risk management, this seems to be my biggest problem. My strategy for risk management is I trade 1% all the time, or less if I don't fully trust the potential setup, but 1%. And then work on your trading psychology. And the 1%, by the way, the position size is calculated depending on the stop loss level, right? If your stop loss is below 1%, you need to use 2x leverage to get 1% risk of your portfolio, no? If your stop loss is 2%, you can just trade with 1x leverage. So your stop loss decides your position size, but your risk remains the same. So you then have to calculate your position size based on your stop loss level and your entry. And based on these two, you can quite easily calculate your position size that you're looking for to just risk 1%. On the other hand, you have to work on trading psychology, which for the most people is the biggest problem. If price goes against them, they close early and then they miss out because price eventually, did reach target, or they close too early, they start revenge trading, those type of things. That is probably worth working on as well, and I always recommend this book, right? Much better than trading in the zone by a mile. I hope so too for you, Jared, my friend. I want to ask you a big important question here. Relate to content. Wrote to Discord direct, but maybe it's not the best option. I mean, I check my DMs sometimes, not too often, but either by mail. I check my mail more often than Discord DMs. So you can also just send me a mail, kunstrading@outlook.com. But yeah, I mean, I'll check my DMs as well, especially because I now know. Is it okay to trade on weekends? If your strategy says so, then yes. Been more active watching your videos lately due to the volatility, not a daily trader myself. I joined medium, and thanks for sticking to the Elliott Wave rule strictly. Thanks, Effect. And it's great to have some people from Trackmania here as well. I know Massa joined the Discord group recently. It was great seeing him come in. Writing in general chat as well when he jumped in. Massa is also a professional Trackmania player still, and he also was when I was a professional, and we've seen each other at events regularly, and yeah, great to see him join as well. And Effect is another one from the community, so yeah, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. And swing trading with Elliott Waves is a nice thing, right? It's high time frame stuff. Usually the higher time frame you go, the better Elliott Wave becomes. But I like very low time frames because I can read the market locally to then get an estimation of the probabilities on the high time frame. So I like to move between the lower and the higher. How many confluences you look for before making a position? 7. You said you used to be an active gamer. You still play? Not too often, to be honest. Usually when I'm with friends, we play like Mario Kart or Trackmania, Call of Duty, those type of Halo, Battlefield. But yeah. If I play something myself at home, then it would be Trackmania, Rocket League, Call of Duty. Yeah. Have a wonderful day, Luis. Wait for... yeah, exactly, Lucas. Lucas probably still walking. Never traded a bull run is harder than trading a bear. For me, it doesn't change because I have a set strategy. So bull or bear, I trade both ways. It's also designed to do that. But in a previous bull run, price seems pretty random. I never seen a low. I guess is it difficult to trade? Well, usually that's the thing. people just buy and price goes up. So arguably bull runs are easier than bear markets because somehow price moving up has a bigger, how can I say this? More people get happy when price moves up because they tend to buy instead of sell against an asset. So when the market goes up all the time in a bull market, it's much easier for many people to make a lot of money because they buy and it just goes up. Can they stick with the 30% retracements though? That's the question. But nonetheless, and if they don't have a plan to sell, they just take it down from 69K back to 15K. You know what I mean? You still need a plan. The thing with the bear markets, what makes it difficult for people that don't really have a plan is the moment price shows a bounce, they think, oh, it's going back up. So people stick with the buying all the time, right? So you see over here a move up 45%. That's a big move, no? What are people thinking? All-time high, higher low, right? That sort of stuff. Yeah. I think buying is more ingrained in the brains, like buying an asset instead of going against it. Price moving up, easy, right? Up. But those are also usually the people that, if you don't have a plan, those are the ones that take it down and then back up again and then go down to 15.4. So is it more difficult? I just think that the mindset is different because people usually love buying instead of selling. It's easier, quote unquote, to buy than to sell, maybe mindset wise, because the upside from 10 to 1 million is higher than from 69 to 10 in numeric, right? But the percentage is, if you go from 69 to 15, that's a massive move down. Of course, going from 10 to 1 million as well, by the way, of course. But I don't know why many people get stuck in just buying. While, of course, very interesting to sell as well. And then with each little relief range, they buy, and then you get this. So it depends on the strategy. You can buy, you can just DCA all the way down, of course, but then you need a strategy for it. So you need a plan and a strategy. But yeah, I would agree. I suppose the biggest group of people would prefer bull markets over bear markets because of their way of trading and buying, I suppose. Yeah, including the patterns as well, yeah. Yeah, I read Trading in the Zone, and I also read The Mental Game of Trading, which for me is by far a superior book than Trading in the Zone. It's not even close. Yeah, Trading in the Zone is much better for me. ETH has 5 waves down from the 12th of Jan. That's very local compared to the weekly uptrend it has. Quick little look, and then I'm gonna quit and do some other stuff, everyone. But highest amount of volume in the low, usually more typical for a wave C compared to a wave 5. Or you have an extended 5 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, usually more typical for a C though. Arguably you can, C would also be a 5 wave move down nonetheless. Wave 3 is not the shortest, right? So yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks like a 5 wave move, right? And then it's up to you to identify, is it a wave C or is it a wave A or a wave 1? That takes some time because you got to pull all the fibs and check it in a lot more detail than I can do now, because for me it is now time, everyone, to do some other stuff during the day. Still have some other work related things to do as well, and my fiance prepares some very nice lunch, very nice salad that I'm going to enjoy as well. And then I have some other stuff to do. Still have a chatting session with Diamond at 5 p.m. YouTube video will be online between 7 and 8, of course, as always, tonight, p.m. Central European time. So Is it possible to trade with $100 on Bitcoin? Yes, especially if you are still practicing, learning. Start low. Start low. Do you think this bear market was the weakest? I mean, it's still a strong percentage, 70 something move down. So, and maybe we're not even finished, right? We don't know yet for certain in the macro bear scenarios. We still have a move down, but yeah, it's still a big move. Still a big move. So I wouldn't say weak or strong, but percentage wise, it's still a solid retracement. Yeah. So everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some, Adrian, welcome and bye. Thanks for spending some time with me here on the Sunday afternoon. Tonight will be the cycle macro high time frame update video. Not too much has changed, I think, compared to last week. But I'll look into that. So yeah, between 7 and 8, I'll post that video. So yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you again spending some time on the channel, watching the content, watching the video, chatting with me in the chat, and yeah, we will see each other very soon again. So have a good Sunday, enjoy your day, and I'll see you at the next one.